I want to help people dance more often in more different places. Teaching dance is opening the door of dance to beginners. Ballroom dancers kind of stake a claim to any kind of dance you can do with a partner. My main emphasis in teaching is to take beginners and give them functionality as soon as possible. We're back in the MTV era where music videos were first becoming really popular and kind of a major part of the promotion of new music. At a ground level, everyone who walks in the door their first dance lesson does so because the most sort of instructive experiences for me as a teacher was once when I had a student with short-term memory loss.
Welcome to Yinz podcast, where we celebrate the local community shaping Pittsburgh's heartbeat. We will introduce artists, musicians, dancers, singers, and unsung heroes. In this series, we are focusing on celebrating women living in our vibrant community. I'm your host, Naveen. Today's guest is someone who has been dancing through the city's soul for years. A teacher, community builder, and the force behind Pittsburgh Dance Friend. From her first ballroom class at 12 to becoming a mentor for hundreds of dancers, Sarah's story is all about connection, confidence, and finding joy in every step. Let's welcome Sarah Slavinsky.
Thank you, Naveen.
Before we start anything, Sarah, can you introduce yourself like something which my audience don't know?
Well, kind of the main thing to know about me is that I'm a professional dance teacher, but I'm also an avid social dancer. And I try to dance as often and in as many places as I possibly can in and around the city. And kind of my main mission in life, if that's not too hokey to say, is that I want to help people dance more often in more different places, whether they have zero previous dance experience and need to get started with some lessons, or they're already avid dancers in one social scene and are looking for more opportunities to do different dances in different places.
So why you're particularly attracted to salsa form dances?
Salsa is probably one of the most common types of dance that you will find socials for locally. So I end up at a lot of salsa dances because there's just a lot of them. But the original style of dance, or I would say kind of group of dance styles I got started with, is ballroom dancing. And from there, basically, ballroom dancers kind of stake a claim to any kind of dance you can do with a partner. Yeah. So from there, it was easy to branch out into so many different social styles that are available locally.
Okay. So because we think each form of the dance, if it is like salsa, everybody thinks like it's originated from Spain or Spanish, or there is always these arguments but yeah, let's take us back to your childhood. What first drew you to the dance?
Well, I would say that probably my earliest memories of wanting to dance were back in the MTV era where music videos were first becoming really popular and kind of a major part of the promotion of new music. And I remember as a kid watching music videos and really tying, the action in those videos, which was oftentimes dance, to the music. And so when I would hear new songs that would inspire me, it would naturally make me want to move to the music.
So definitely you got some support from parents there.
Well, yeah, certainly. They're actually the ones that would tape the late night music videos on a VCR tape back in those days so that I could watch them when it was past my bedtime.
You started social partner dancing very early, and you also stepped into a lot of Sunday night classes. So, can you tell us a little more about that story?
Yeah, I started doing ballroom dancing, social partner dancing, when I was about 12. You can start earlier, and some people do, especially a lot of professional dance couples that I know like to start their kids very early.
Yeah.
The challenging part is sometimes when a kid is too young, they're not yet adult sized. And because it's partner dancing, it helps to have a comparably sized partner. So sometimes you will see at junior competitions 2 kids of about the same size dancing together. So it's not weird to get started that early. But when I got started around 12, I was already roughly adult sized. So it was logistically good in that part, in that sense.
So what is one thing, like if you want to say, what is your philosophy in dance teaching? Like what is that philosophy you follow in a dance teaching?
Well, my main philosophy in teaching dance is opening the door of dance to beginners. Over my years of teaching, the majority of my students were beginners with next to zero dance experience when they first walked in the door. And my main emphasis in teaching is to take beginners and give them functionality as soon as possible and get them having a good time with dance as soon as possible. I don't like to emphasize too many rules and regulations in dancing too early on. Certainly later, if somebody wants to do something more strict like a competition where they need to have very precise form in order to have a chance of placing in the competition, well, those sort of rules and regulations come in then. But at a ground level, everyone who walks in the door to their first dance lesson does so because they're thinking, I want to go out dancing. I want to go to dances. I want to go to salsa dances.
Yeah, just like the other dancing.
The one at Takayo that we met up at a couple weeks ago. They want to be able to have fun at a family wedding, right? They want to be able to go to that fundraiser. I keep seeing all of these like kind of fundraiser events that are like Great Gatsby, Speakeasy, Prohibition themed. Yeah. And they play like a lot of those old standards.
Yeah.
And so they want to be able to go to events like that and just have a good time and feel comfortable dancing. And that's my main philosophy, is to get people to the point where they can enjoy it, feel comfortable doing it, and also have enough variety in dance styles to cover a wide variety of music.
Yeah, I think I see like a lot of people like, do you want to take a class or just jump into and learn one couple of times, couple of hours, and then let's do it? So we all want to rush. So
well, I mean, that's also the kind of perennial situation of every dance student is we all feel like we want to be learning faster than we are. And typically it's been actually my most talented dance students that are the most impatient with themselves because they see all the cool moves everyone is doing. And they want to be doing it at that level sooner than later.
Yeah.
But you have to start somewhere, and you start with the basics, and then eventually you just keep doing it. You'll get to something pretty cool.
I'm coming to that point because you taught so many students. So is there any aha moment with any student like doing something which like came as a surprise, or something reminds you like you never forget the experience?
One of the most sort of instructive experiences for me as a teacher was once when I had a student with short-term memory loss. He had been in a car accident and he had clinically diagnosed short-term memory issues. And I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do much with this student because of the memory issues. What ended up happening is I learned so much about the nature of muscle memory. For years, of course, I realized that dancing is a muscle memory skill, but I really saw it in action with this student because I was able to teach him a variety of patterns in each of the dances he was learning. And sometimes when we get up to dance, he'd give me a blank look and I'd say something like, "Hey, this is a foxtrot." And he would look at me like a deer in the headlights, but I would prompt him to do the first basic step, and then all of the other moves would roll out of his muscle memory. So the more that he danced, the more that his short-term memory wasn't even necessary for him to dance because it all got settled into his basic muscle memory, and he did it automatically with that first prompting. So that gave me a much more real faith in muscle memory than I ever had before.
Wow, that's a great thing because most of the people never expects that from a dance, But I also heard like a salsa dance form or any a trained dance forms actually help with the cognitive behavior because you're doing this multitasking, and also it involves brain.
Yes.
And it's a good form of exercise. So can you tell us something more about that if you...
Well, I wish I could cite the exact article for you, but I remember a few years ago reading an article about why dancing is good for your brain.
Okay.
And this article said that it is better than other mind-body coordination activities because not only does it include, obviously, the body, it's good exercise, it includes the brain for the mind-body coordination. But in addition to that, it also includes dancing to music, obviously.
Yeah.
And music evokes certain brain pathways. If you've ever had the experience where you hear a song you haven't heard for years and it takes you back to that summer in high school and you go, "Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, that's
oh,
true.
That song really takes me back." So the fact that you do it to music, fires all those pathways. And then on top of that, you do it with another person. And so it creates brain neural pathways. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact terminology. But it strengthens your brain activity because it's interactional, because you're doing it with another person. So the fact that you have the mind, the body, the music, and the interpersonal interaction makes dance a much more superior form of activity for your brain than even other, kind of mind-body coordination activities.
Yeah, because a lot of people say it's I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but the neural links probably establish when you dance, and the certain areas of your brain work better if you are practicing regularly. So that's a good thing. Maybe it applies to all the dances. So have you ever you dance so much, have you ever met an accident while dancing, or you fell? It's awkward situation.
Oh, certainly. I mean, the mistakes are actually part of the fabric of social partner dancing, in the same way that mistakes are part of the fabric of a conversation, right? If we're having a conversation, even right now, where we're trying to enunciate well, of course, for the sake of the podcast, but any kind of conversation, we still flub a couple words here and there. You have times where you maybe misunderstand the person, but then cycle back and try it again. And dancing is the exact same way. You will communicate leader to follower, and sometimes you might flub something and try it again. Sometimes you might not pick up on something, and then the leader will try once again to lead it, or lead it in a different way. And sometimes, you will have just flat out, big goofs. I've fallen a couple times while dancing. Luckily, nothing, nothing too injurious. But those things will happen as well. But also, mistakes can be opportunities for creativity. When there have been times when I don't know exactly the move that I'm being led through, but I try something and, I try to riff on that and move in a different way and end up doing something cool despite, it starting with a mistake.
Yeah, so we see a lot of energy in you. Like when you speak about dance, so it certainly tells like it's coming out from your heart. So having said that, like we also learned about you started Pittsburg Dance Friends. So how you get this time and like how this passion, like you're doing, can you tell us about the other things you do?
Well, the dance. So I run the Dance Friends Facebook group. And my goal in that is just to make people more aware of all the opportunities there are for social dancing in Pittsburgh. I talk to a lot of people that, for example, if they find out that I'm, a ballroom dance teacher, in a lot of people's minds, they're thinking, oh, ballroom dancing, that's something that went out of style in the 19th century, right? And they don't imagine there's ballroom dances going on every weekend in Pittsburgh. Right?
Yeah.
They maybe heard, they've maybe heard about salsa dancing or swing dancing, but don't know where and how often it's occurring.
Yeah.
Even if they do know where it is, or are aware of some events, sometimes people who want to go still need to sort of get over that mental hurdle of, I don't know what it's going to be like. Are people going to be friendly there? Is it going to be intimidating? Am I going to am I going to be underdressed?
Yeah.
Do I need to wear a ball gown if I go to a ballroom dance? So I like to post not only the events, but also when people post any kinds of photographs of the events, so people can start to picture in their mind what these events are like and what they look like, so that they're less intimidating and they are, more interesting to the average person. To get somebody from, ooh, I really wish that I could go out dancing, to, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out dancing. I'm going to try it. That's what I'm trying to do.
Like if I wanted to ask one dance, like somebody like a beginner wants to start with, what that dance would be?
I think the best dance for any beginner to start with is merengue. Because it is the simplest dance in terms of what you do with your feet and how you coordinate your feet to the music. And virtually any move you do in any dance can at least be sort of sketched out in merengue. The actions can be danced in merengue in a more accessible form, so that you can practice them there and then translate them into dance styles that have kind of a more complex basic stepping pattern or rhythm. So that is my favorite, like, bare beginner
it's easy
dance.
to learn, you think? You can.
Yes.
And also, like, this is the one where you can rotate your partner. That is this dance? Marina?
Well, yes, it's a lot of the, say, what we would call club dances like the Latin dances, which include on a club scene, salsa, merengue, bachata. Within the ballroom dances, things like cha-cha, rumba, all the swing dances. There's a pretty large local group who does Lindy Hop swing. Mm-hmm. There is also a couple different local groups who promote West Coast swing. All of those types of dances involve lots of spins and turns.
I saw you wearing like a lot of hats, like all these years, like you're a dancer, you're a teacher, you're a mentor, you're also helping community. What makes you keep going with these all activities?
It inspires me and I love it. I'm excited to get up every day and either, get on the computer to see what's happening new out there in the dance world, what events have been posted that I can find and share, questions that people ask me. A lot of people will reach out and ask me questions. about different dance events. Different dance events that are happening that I promote usually every month on Dance Friends. I promote, say, 2 or 3 on average different events that are happening locally that I have been to before and enjoyed. And I encourage people to come to those events. Sometimes when you think about going to an event and you realize that everybody there is going to be a complete stranger, you think, maybe I'll just stay home on the couch. But if you know that there are some people going there that at least you'll recognize, you're like, oh, so the Dance Friends folks are going. Okay, that might help inspire people to go out and do that and attend those dances. And
It's a good idea, actually.
yeah, I'm excited to, find like, what dance events am I going to promote this month? And then even after that, I'm excited to, go to my day job at the library and see all my coworkers there and help all of our patrons. And yeah, so I'm just inspired by most of the things I do all day. And I'm very blessed to be able to live a life where I have that. I'm very thankful.
Yeah, we would love to know the trick. But next question is like, okay, so is there anything like a hobby or something you do and most of us don't know, like even your friends, close friends don't know? Do you want to?
I've done a variety of different hobbies.
Which not everybody knows.
One thing that a lot of people don't know about me until we have a conversation is that I studied languages in school. I was a Russian major.
Oh.
And that was a big part of my life. I will often make analogies between dance and language because
so you can speak and write?
Badly. I am very rusty in my Russian muscle memory has not been kept up.
Okay, that's interesting. For anyone listening who is curious about trying dance but feels nervous, what would you tell them?
Just start. Start however you can start and just keep doing it. Because dancing is something that you learn through practice and repetition over a span of time. Even if you feel clunky or you keep messing up, just start doing it and keep doing it. Everyone that I know who has continued dancing has gotten to a point where they feel comfortable and feel like they truly can enjoy it and have fun doing it.
That's a great message, Sarah. So people who don't know you, where they can find you and how they can involve with the Pittsburg Dance Friends.
Well, my website is pittsburghdancer.com. Remember, Pittsburgh has an H. Us Pittsburghers know that, but sometimes people commit the typo. But pittsburghdancer.com. And if you're on Facebook, you can search Facebook for Pittsburg Dance Friends.
Yeah. So I think she's also available on the Facebook, Instagram.
Yes, I am Pittsburg Dancer on Instagram. I'm Pittsburg Dancer on YouTube. I'm Dance Friends PGH on X, I believe.
Yeah.
Our Facebook page is Dance Friends PGH, but the group is where most of the action happens and where you can find all of the dance events that we post.
Like if you want to give like one general message to Pittsburgh community, what would that be?
There's a wonderful world of dancing out there. And if you have ever thought to yourself, no, that's something I'd like to do someday, get started, because you only have X amount of time left to enjoy your dancing, whether it's decades or sometimes shorter. There's never going to be a better time to get started dancing and have the most time to enjoy your dancing and maximize your enjoyment of dancing. So start today, find Pittsburgh Dance Friends, send me a message, and I will give you personalized recommendations about what dance events to go to locally, depending on what type of music you like and what type of dancing inspires you.
With that, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your story
Thank
and
you,
your
Naveen.
spirit with us today. Your love for dance and the community really shines through, and it's been such a joy having you here. And to everyone watching, please do go and check out the Sarah's work at pittsburghdancer.com and follow Pittsburgh Dance Friends to discover your next night out dancing. You'll be so glad you did. And remember, this is just one small step from our team to help sustain and celebrate the incredible spirit and vibrancy of Pittsburgh. We will see you next time as we spotlight another amazing personality right here on the Yinz podcast. Until then, thank you for watching and for being part of our journey. Please support us by watching, sharing, and following the Yinz podcast on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Your support truly inspires us to keep creating more stories for you. Thank you very much.